ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Have weekend plans? Take us along for the ride. Day, night, and weekend. We keep you up to date on the news, traffic, and weather.
Well, we're standing in some really fine weather right now, and we look forward to the show.
We open gates at 10:30 a.m. and music starts at 12.
It's one more reason why we're the Bay Area's #1 news station.
On the Polo Grounds in Golden Gate Park, Jim Taylor, KCBS.
All news, all the time, right here on KCBS.
It's 11:51. I'm John Evans. Pixie Clay is editing tonight. A government survey says up to 25% of high school students are vaping. KCBS's Eric Thomas reports that health officials and educators worry that the nicotine in the vaping liquid could be harmful, and they're teaming up to sniff it out.
The FDA says along with nicotine, there are cancer-causing chemicals in that vapor, and parents need to be aware of the clues that their teen is vaping.
First of all, parents need to know what those vaping devices look like thumb drives, like markers.
Kate King is president-elect of the National Association of School Nurses. She says the fruity flavors kids are so attracted to, like banana ice and peach soda, are banned in refillable e-cigarettes and vape pens, but a loophole allows them to still be sold in disposable vaping devices.
If you get a whiff of that, if your teen's breath smells like that at all, it's a good time to have a talk with your teen about vaping.
King says kids are under a lot of peer pressure to vape, and that pressure is even more profound for students who haven't been in class for 2 years because of the pandemic. She suggests that suspicious parents talk to kids in a non-confrontational way and even ask for advice from medical professionals if necessary. Eric Thomas, KCBS.
Using geolocating technology, San Francisco firefighters were able to rescue a lost hiker last night at Fort Funston. KCBS's Jeffrey Shaw reports they pinpointed her location by tracking her cell phone.
It was shortly after 9 p.m. that the young woman called Pacifica Police to inform them she was lost. Dispatchers forwarded the call to San Francisco Dispatch. They were able to trace her cell phone's general location, but with difficulty and without specificity. San Francisco Fire Department spokesperson Jonathan Baxter.
The dispatchers were able to, after verifying through the 911 transfer call where the individual thought she was at and her phone number, they were able to use a program called Rapid SOS, which is a program that allows us to send a signal out that pings off of the individual's cell phone. It gives us a GPS coordinate.
The lost hiker was found about an hour later, safe but cold.
I'm out here on the trail at Fort Funston, and you can see how someone could become easily disoriented. Not only would it be dark, but it was very foggy last night as well. And Baxter says it's important if you're going to go out on a hike, let somebody know where you are and look for landmarks along the way so you can describe to first responders where you've been.
And if you become lost, dial 911 at Fort Funston. Jeffrey Shaw.
KCBS News Time, 11:55. Here's Larry Cost.
The latest check on the job market shows things are holding steady. First-time jobless claims fell slightly last week, but is at the calm before the storm. PwC survey finds half of the companies polled say they're reducing headcount or plan to. High prices and rising mortgages continue to push more would-be home buyers to the sidelines. An industry group says home resales fell 5.9% last month, the lowest level since May 2020. It was a trendless day on Wall Street with mixed earnings and economic news unable to inspire buyers or sellers. Dow Industrials added 19, the S&P gained 10, the Nasdaq rose 27. Bank of America is giving customers another reason to use its debit and credit cards. It's offering a no-cost membership to Grubhub Plus so they can get online food takeout with no delivery fee. Membership is worth about $10 a month. Larry Kofsky, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
You can listen to KCBS's live and local news coverage anytime, anywhere with the Odyssey app. Get the latest breaking news, traffic updates, weather reports, and more with the press of a button. It's just 2 steps. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite KCBS radio. Now you can listen to KCBS on your phone, computer, or smart speaker with the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. Sponsored by Comcast Business. Business is ready for what's next, powering possibilities. KCBS, in partnership with UCSF Health, presents As Prescribed, a weekly conversation with leading medical experts from UCSF Medical Center and UCSF Video
pricing, on-time arrivals, and service right in your driveway. No waiting room, and direct access to your mechanic with friendly and reliable service. No middleman or upsells. They're so sure you'll love the convenience. Take $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50. Kirby, your driveway mechanic.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. It's the biggest sale of the year where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Only for limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
KCBS News Time, 11:58, traffic and weather together. Here's Frank Murray.
Well, we're tracking a couple of problems, the worst of which is in Vacaville, where we have a crash still being dealt with on eastbound 80 just before Leisuretown Road. A car veering off of the roadway, slamming into and downing a power pole and causing a power outage in parts of Vacaville. No lanes of eastbound 80 are blocked, but at least the last word, we still have the Orange Drive on-ramp, the on-ramp to eastbound 80 closed. We also continue to look at that problem on the connector from southbound 101 over to eastbound 25. We still have that connector shut down and 25 shut down between 101 and Bloomfield Road. That's a short stretch for Fraser Lake Road, your best alternate. Your next update at 12:08 on the traffic leader KCBS.
Bay Area weather, sunshine tomorrow eventually after morning fog and overcast, but we'll stay foggy at the beaches. 60s to the upper 90s for Friday. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on KCBS. Good evening, it's Thursday, August 18th, 2022. Coming up on the Friday Morning News Watch with Elisa Clancy.
This is Matt Bigler. There are new incentives to switch from grass to drought-tolerant landscapes.
It's pretty much wood chips everywhere and rock. I'm Kathy Whitman. Coming just in time for the start of the new school year, Governor Newsom introduces a plan to help kids with mental health.
And a former top executive of the Trump Organization pleads guilty to tax evasion. I'm John Evans. CBS News covers the world next.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, and Odyssey Station.
12 o'clock.
Here is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. We may get to see a partially redacted version of that affidavit that convinced a federal magistrate to sign a warrant to search former President Trump's home. Details from CBS's Deborah Alfarone.
On Thursday, attorneys representing CBS News and other media organizations asked federal magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhart to make the affidavit behind the search warrant for former President Trump's home public. Reinhart said he's inclined to unseal it, with some parts blacked out. The court also ordered the Department of Justice to immediately release procedural records that provide new insight into the alleged crimes being investigated, including willful retention of national defense information, concealment or removal of government records, and obstruction of a federal investigation.
Infectious disease experts at Stanford University have documented a recent monkeypox case whose circumstances were quite different than most other cases. KPIX-TV's Max Darrow reports from San Francisco.
In a research letter published in the CDC's Emerging Infectious Diseases Journal, they detailed a patient, a man in his 20s, sought care at the hospital for a rash about 2 weeks after a trip to the United Kingdom. He was diagnosed with monkeypox, but unlike the vast majority of monkeypox patients, the man reported no sexual contact or any known contact with a person who had the virus. His primary risk factor, according to researchers, he'd attended a large crowded outdoor event at which he had close contact with others, including close dancing for a few hours. But they haven't been able to determine how the man contracted it.
Time to update your iPhone, iPad, or Mac computers, is CNET's Brian Cooley.
The last 2 days we've learned about these vulnerabilities. One of them happens in the browser of your Apple device, and if you go to a website that has hacker code embedded in it, it can be downloaded and run a program that can do nefarious things to your device.
There's been a break in the killing of a high-profile high-profile inmate.
3 men, including a mafia hitman, have been charged in the killing of notorious Boston crime boss James Whitey Bulger in a West Virginia prison. He was beaten to death in October 2018, hours after he was transferred from a prison in Florida, where he had been serving a life sentence for 11 murders and other crimes.
CBS's Jim Krasula. Deshaun Watson has reached a settlement with the NFL. He's agreed to serve an 11-game unpaid suspension and pay a $5 million fine rather than risk missing his first season as quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Watson was accused of sexual assault and harassment by 24 women while he played for the Houston Texans. The league wanted to ban him for at least a year. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Oh, are you being real? This is incredible.
Short-staffed Marco's Climate Research Facility is in the eye of the storm. The atmospheric pressure to find more weather specialists is mounting.
Man, this is going to be a big job. We're going to need a bigger team.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Google employees are petitioning the company for more abortion benefits for their non-employee coworkers.
Hundreds of Google employees are asking the company to extend its abortion health care benefits to contract workers. Google's parent company Alphabet has pledged to pay travel and other health care costs for employees seeking out-of-state abortions. But benefits don't cover contract workforces, which are common in the tech industry. In fact, contract workers often get paid less and have fewer perks than full-time employees. The petition also asks that Google step up for users who look up abortion information online. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
A former Hutchinson, Kansas police officer is suspected of committing a series of sexual assaults between 2012 and 2018 while he was working for the department. 51-year-old Todd Allen was charged Thursday with 24 counts, including 17. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
It's 12:05 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. This morning, 50s, a little sunny, a bit warmer inland today. Good morning. What's happening? One East Bay Water Agency is sweetening the incentive for replacing thirsty lawns during the drought. KCBS's Matt Bigler has details.
The lawn replacement rebate for East Bay mud customers has been doubled from $1.25 per square foot to $2.50. Spokesperson Andrea Polk says most customers are opting for the super rebate.
What that means is if you do a majority of native plants and do other water conservation measures, you get the larger rebate.
She says since 2015, their customers have converted 4.6 million square feet of lawn. Lorraine Pena in Piedmont has a drought-tolerant landscape.
It's pretty much wood chips everywhere and rock. Actually, we have cactus in front, and we have succulents.
I've seen other yards around with the rocks, and I just don't like the look.
Rod English says they just put in a lawn at their house in San Leandro, and he's not ready to let it go.
I mean, I would consider making it smaller and maybe doing a little bit, but, not take it out completely.
It's estimated about 30% of water use during the summer goes to outdoor landscaping. In the East Bay, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
Governor Newsom unveiled a master plan for kids' mental health. KCBS's Kathy Whitman reports it's an effort to make sure that everyone who wants help will have access to services.
It's called the California Master Plan for Kids' Mental Health, and Governor Newsom made the announcement at a high school in Fresno, which already provides a great program to help students deal with mental health. The governor says that young people have been feeling the isolation that came with the pandemic these past 2.5 years. However, he stresses the anxieties that have resulted didn't happen overnight.
It's over the course of decades and decades of neglect that we ended up here across the spectrum.
The master plan will include $4.7 billion every child in the state from the age of 0 to 25 will be able to get universal mental health screening and services. There is also money to increase the number of mental health professionals in the state.
40,000 behavioral health professionals we want to train over the